Hello.
You're pretty comfy tonight,
I am comfy cozy in my
Maggie.
pajamas.
You're comfy cozy.
In my
I'm in de facto pajamas.
We're kind of both in pajamas in a way.
We're kind of both in pajamas because we're doing a little late night recording.
Recording.
I think I'll clap since I am going to do the brief today. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie,
And I'm Amanda.
and we're sisters in law.
We started with Suits and then began scheming.
If you love TV, check out what's streaming.
It's only show fans. Only show fans. It's only show fans. Only show fans.
Sorry I was a little late coming over too. Colin and I were laughing because we were talking about plays and things, and I had this memory of when I was in like middle school and my brother got cast in the church play as the lead because it was the only boy in youth group, and he had all the solos, but he can't sing, and so he just spoke all of the solos, and by everyone I mean me, who had been practicing all the songs in the shower, really like belting them out. And you know how I can sing, Amanda, because we sing on this show all the time. I was just like offended that I didn't get to play the lead mouse in the nativity story.
I applaud him for speaking. I used to sing as well.
In plays?
In the way that I don't love to do an accent. I love to sing, I'm just not good at it, so I'm not always going to do it. When I was younger, I was a little more self-conscious than I am now. And I appreciate a speak singer. So game recognizes game, William. I see you.
Yeah. It's interesting. I just like can't imagine you not being confident with your singing voice.
Well, you know what they say. If I could sing.
You wouldn't know me, you'd just know of me.
Yeah.
Throwback to season 1, episode 1, Suits podcast.
Is that the very first one?
I feel
The
like
very
that's
first
got to be
episode?
the very first episode. Very top first 3 episodes you
One
dropped
of the
that
top.
line on me.
Yeah. Well, and we released the first 3 episodes the first day.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh wow, it's been
We dropped it like it's very hot.
and it was
Yeah,
very
we're
hot.
coming. We'll be 3 years in December.
That's crazy. Dang.
Isn't that crazy?
I've loved
Just
the
2
last
girls
3 years.
going at it, talking about TV, you know,
My
and
favorite
other things.
and other things sometimes. Mostly
And other
music.
things. Should we brief?
We should brief.
All right. Here's what I have to say about jury duty, company retreat, team building, trust falls, post-it notes, strategy sessions, talent shows, three-legged races, all things you might find at a company retreat. And you know what? That's hardly what we saw with Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat, because boy, oh boy, was that a treat for us. In just a few episodes, they roped us in with a new cast of characters and a new hero who was completely in the dark, but he could see the light of rockin' grandma's hot sauce. And boy, was it saucy. There were no less than 27 times when I said out loud, no way that he has not figured this out yet. And guess what? Way. Because he did not figure it out. And if he did, then our lead hero, that good sir, deserves an Emmy for that superb and fine acting. You know what? Watching this made me think, I'd love to go on a company retreat with you, Maggie Reith Austin. And in fact, I think that's what we should do. In brief.
I do miss when we would do, when we worked together, the company was a little smaller, just a wee bit. But It was so fun.
But bigger than this conglomerate that we have right
Yeah,
here.
bigger than the Only Show Fans company, but not by much. And it was always fun to. I just like love a company retreat. Like truly
Yeah. We did
love
a lot of
it.
that for the business that we owned. It's amazing how many like team building events and group dinners and everything that we were really shoehorning it in. We leaned into all of that
But I think that
big
was what
time.
made it fun. You know?
It made it real fun.
Yeah.
And you were great at organizing that stuff. Oh my gosh.
I just. You know what I did
You
this
could
week
just
is
take an idea and just make it happen.
I went to like the Erie Downtown Development Project had like a walking
Yeah, you
tour
texted me
of
about that.
the real estate projects that they're working, like the strategy and the urban planning that's going on in the downtown corridor. And I went and they were like, "Oh, do you work downtown?" And I was like, "No, I just love these sorts of meetings." I just loved it. I loved it. I just was there, just walking, listening, hearing the history. And it wasn't like a history tour. It's like the venture capital that was invested in this project was this, and the rents are structured in this. And I was like, yes, yes, company, yes, corporate
I love it.
strategy. I was like, when's the next one? Like, when? When are we talking?
That's so
When are
great.
we talking
You
about
could
the
get
next street?
involved.
Yeah, but I'm not like doing anything. I'm just like participating, like as if I am on a company retreat and the information is just washing over me. And I am just through osmosis absorbing the culture for the next year of the company, taking notes.
You could get involved.
No, I could. Yeah, I might. I
Could.
might. I have
You
some
could.
I have some leads. I made some connections on some soft leads on things I could get involved in, you know.
Love this.
Yeah.
I love to see you out and about walking in your community.
Walking in my community, kind of like listening to some seminars. Am I right?
Loved it. Loved it.
I'm like the girl in company retreat, the one employee who wears the posture zapper that makes sure that she's sitting up straight. And her favorite day is seminar day. And everyone else is like, I hate seminar day. And she goes, that's my favorite day. That's me. I love a seminar. Give me a PowerPoint. Give me an interesting twist.
A
Let's talk about
conference?
dynamics.
Oh my gosh.
Do I get a
Yeah. Don't give
notepad?
me a conference where there's multiple tracks and you have to decide which speaker you're going to listen to.
Choose your
How
own
do I get a
adventure
how do I get a
conference?
takeaway?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Coffee
Is
and
there a PDF and a leave behind, you know?
do I fill out an exit
Scheduled
survey?
networking? Yeah. I'll fill out one for every single session.
Are we talking about which block what we're
100%.
doing in the next block? What are we doing in the next
Oh my
block? Block
gosh.
party.
I'm going to say, you know what? It was so good to meet you in this one. I'm going to say, if you see, are you going to be in ballroom Tejas? Is that the one you're going to be in? Oh, you're going to be in ballroom H Town. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you afterwards at coffee, and then we'll go to that last keynote at the end.
Yeah, the keynote. Let's get it pumping in here. Let's get it rocking.
Let's get it bumping.
Welcome to the stage, your keynote speaker, Amanda Austin. Because you do actually go to a lot of company retreats, actually, as
do.
one of these
I do
facilitators.
actually go to a lot of company
just
retreats.
to bring it back to
Yes.
the show.
Yeah, which we'll talk about. I mean, that Matt Walsh one was
So good.
so great.
Okay, so going
Okay.
into this, what did you know? What were you expecting? Did it live up to the hype in your head?
I knew what we all knew, that this was a new cast. It was the same concept as Jury Duty, but this time it was a company retreat, all new people. I loved it. It lived up to my expectations. I thought it was great. You know, it's the only thing that was different for me this time than the other one is that we've already seen this played out one, you know?
Right.
So it's just the only thing is like, we know how this is going to go at the end. It was still very rewarding. I think that when I watched Jury Duty, I remember just being like, I laughed out loud thinking, no fucking way. Like, and so that was the only part that I was thinking that, but then also like, how does he not know about it? But then I realized there's a lot of shows people don't know about.
That's why
So.
we exist, to help people.
Yes. to help people. What about you? What did you know about it?
Same.
Did you like it? Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, so same. I didn't actually finish the first Jury Duty. I watched like a
Okay.
couple episodes of it and it was very funny, but then I just kind of was like, I don't watch something else. It was kind of like, I get it, like it's funny, but it was kind of like, it's kind of like an improv show. It's like, this one's cut. You know, I get the idea. How are they going to bring it back together? But I did watch the whole one of Company Retreat, and I'm glad I did. Because it was nice to see the payoff at the end. And really, each episode, even though it's like the same premise each episode, right? Like he's going to get into a situation that feels so ridiculous, but is within the realm of real. And it's going to be so hilarious because we all know all those premises were very different. And the character development
Yes,
of all those
they were.
different people was great. And how they have like the arc. I was just amazed. Wait, also, I have to tell you this. At first, I was like, oh my gosh, why is this so boring? And it's because I was watching the behind the scenes Jury Duty Company Retreat is the thing I watched first.
Oh,
I watched the first episode of that.
Okay.
And I was like, why is this so boring? Why are they doing it this way this year?
oh, whoops. Okay, I haven't watched that yet.
Don't. It's like, fine.
Though I'm sure it's worth it. I know because I've like they could do multiple episodes on the behind the scenes
They
of
do.
it all, which that stuff is interesting to me.
It
to
is.
see how it all works out.
But I liked in the last episode when they reveal how they do it all and all the cameras and where they were. That was enough for me of the actual show, not the behind the scenes show.
Yeah, that I think it's enough for me too,
Yeah. Because how
just because of time.
I think the line that stood out to me in that is the guy who played the HR director. He was like, really, this is more like choreography and rehearsing for a staged play than it is improv. Because you know all those actors are improvisers and like probably
Yes.
so hilarious all the time doing their improv shows. But then they have to really be like, I have to hit my mark and I have to make sure that he's in the shot, all while being this character and memorizing my entire backstory and just amazing the amount of flexing and improvising and being cool. Being cool.
Yeah, being cool. I think the backstory element was what was different here, is because they all had their own lived experiences that they had individually, but also together as co-workers that needed to be. They had to have it on lock. Like they had to get that all really tight. And in Jury Duty, that was not the case because it's all these new jurors, right? And so they're just all coming together. So they have their own backstory, but they don't have like a collective group backstory. So, it's a excellent lesson for, picking a character trait and or flaw and having a strong point of view as a character when you are acting, whether it's in comedy or something, that's not comedy, right? And filtering it through that and just committing all of the time. Like there's the guy who has on all the shirts that shows he's an ally of every single every single day. Like there's just so many things, right? All the time. We have the HR director who's just a horn dog and he's just trying to find somebody and trying to be cool, like it's really interesting, character study, I think, to watch.
It's
And
also
they
interesting.
just can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, and you think about like, oh, all these characters feel kind of one-dimensional because we're seeing, oh, this is the guy who has the ally shirts, or this is the guy who has black mold in his apartment, right? Like we're seeing just the one thing that they're really hammering home. But then you think about if you're actually with someone a lot and they're going through something or something's on their mind, they do talk about it, and that's like all they talk about. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I've been that person.
I am that person. That's why we have a podcast, because we just like to just talk about
Because we have to
something.
talk about TV. Yeah.
So this is where we get it out. But then, like, if we didn't have this, someone would be like, all she talks to me about is whatever she's watching for 30 to 45 minutes. And then she sings in the middle. Like, that's what they would say about us.
Yeah. At least we have a strong personal brand, as did these characters. What storyline or even like bit within these storylines made you laugh the hardest?
Oh, well, I related the most to when the son, Ducky, he's presenting. So it's Rockin' Grandma, and then he's developing a jerk chicken sauce, and he has this whole presentation, and he's made all these sauces, and he's got all like the friends of the company and their clients are there for the barbecue, and he reveals it that it's like rock your socks off, Rockin' Grandma's jerk chicken sauce. But when everyone gets the bottle, the way that it's written on the bottle, it looks like jerk off sauce.
Yeah.
Rockin' Grandma's jerk off sauce. And I related to that because I love a good idea, and I love a big idea, and I love to execute things, but proofing, not always my strong suit.
Yeah.
And I could just see
You're not
that
the only one.
happening, like, oops, 100 million bottles of jerk off sauce.
I don't know. That might get people pretty excited,
Honestly, marketing could be great. Kind of reminds me of Robbie's baseball team, his T-ball team this year.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them about Robbie's baseball team?
Yeah.
Bobby.
So every team has a sponsor that's prominently displayed, and I think I'm sure this is a great company. In fact, I've been looking for one, and so I might be checking them out. But Robbie will be on the Orioles, sponsored by the OBGYN Associates of Erie. So the OBGYN Orioles. And that feels like something that could go viral,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then who
I
to
hope
go to.
it does.
Yeah, I think that's the funniest thing. I'm going to frame the
whole
jersey and
point.
put it in our bathroom. Like, what great
Yeah.
marketing. I don't know if they meant the thing.
think it's great.
Did they mean for it to be the best marketing ever?
There's got to be one of those OBGYNs has got to be one of the parents on the team.
Yeah. And do you think they think it's funny
You
or
You gotta
no?
find out. You're gonna do some sleuthing and find out.
Yeah, because I can't make fun of the company, because I do think it's probably a great organization and great that they're sponsoring T-ball. I just think it's maybe the funniest thing ever to have a T-ball team of 4-year-old boys
Yeah.
running around with the OBGYNs on them.
Look,
It wasn't too long.
it happens. A conference. Go ahead.
It wasn't too long ago that those little boys came from OBGYNs. They're only 4.
Yes.
So,
I got an email from a conference where I'm supposed to speak, and the title said "Shitting Perspectives" instead of "Shifting Perspectives."
that's me. I would have done that.
And
would have
I
done
wanted
that.
to click on it and be like, "What is your perspective about shitting?"
Were you disappointed when it was shifting?
I was not. I was disappointed because I knew that it was a typo and there wasn't going to be any talk about shitting perspectives. It was all going to be about shifting perspectives. And what's also interesting is they didn't send a,
Correction.
oh shit, we messed up message, right? They just acting like it's no big deal. NBD.
Shifting your
No big
focus
biggie.
to the correct name of this session. I think that you should go and then be really disappointed when all the sessions aren't just shitting on each other's ideas. Just I thought this was a shitting
Really? I
perspective.
just heckle from the back.
This idea sucks. Shit on that.
You stink.
Like that doo-doo I had.
Anyways,
That's what I related to the most. What was your most memorable moment from the season?
there were a lot of them. I think I really liked when Sia came. I think that was funny that they had Sia singing
For the talent
I
show.
love Cheap Thrills. Yes. And I also loved when they were the Trucus group,
Yeah, the Trucus.
The video was hilarious when they're all the redheads. But when head Trucus, Trucus in charge, is jousting with that girl I can't remember her name, and then she bops her really hard, and then how quickly they go and put them. I thought maybe she had a blood pack over in the corner, but they actually she ran over to the side, and there was somebody underneath that thing and was putting makeup on her, which is crazy because The blood pack seems like the obvious, easy thing, but whatever. I thought that was so well done, just knowing that like that was
There's like a little hand.
manufactured and everything. Yeah. So, yeah, it was fun. He was so sweet too. I feel like they've gotten really lucky, and maybe if I watched the behind the scenes, I'd learn a little bit more about the casting process, because that is interesting to me how they make sure that you don't know those people. Like, you really have to not be somebody who watches TV at all.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I did read that they were, or maybe they said it, that there were a couple of them that had really big commercials. Was this in
No.
the part, or did I read this? So there were a couple of them that were in national commercials that were airing at the time right before this show they started filming, and so they were worried he was going to see them in commercials and then be like, do I recognize you from,
Right.
yeah, because it talks about I read this in an article because I read all of the cast and then who would possibly be the most recognizable based on how many times they've been in like bit parts and had commercials. I also thought it was crazy that, I mean, maybe it's because he's a comedy guy, but Matt Walsh, when he walked out, I'm like, that's kind of bold to bring one of the founders of UCB out to be one of the speakers. But also that's so niche, that
Yeah.
if you cast somebody who doesn't watch a lot of TV or particularly follow any kind of like improv comedy or anything, the HR director used to write for SNL and for either Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, for a while. So, I mean,
Lisa Gilroy,
I guess-
as one of the guest speakers.
yeah,
And she was
Yes,
in jury duty.
I guess you have to be under a TV rock and that just not be your thing,
And not on socials and not like following comedy. I mean, I'm sure, honestly, if it was like a jury duty sports edition and it was like, oh, I'm surrounded by a bunch of famous athletes, I probably wouldn't know, except for I'd be like, you guys are all so tall and strong,
Yes.
Yes. And Kyle
Same.
would be like, you're in the room with
Oh my God, oh my God, oh
with
my
all
God,
these
oh my God, did you get
names.
the autograph?
Like, oh, I can't
Yes.
even believe it. And I'd be
Yes.
like, I don't know. He said he sold car insurance, and I was like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I already got an
Yeah.
agent.
Sorry.
Dude. Yeah.
You're Michael B. Jordan? Oh, okay. Not Michael Jordan. Okay.
How funny that you have the same name. Anyways. Yeah.
I thought it was really fun. Here's the one thing that I did fall asleep with, because at some point this podcast will be sponsored by Moon Brew. Okay. And right now I'm telling the listeners about it for free. And I got a new shipment of my Moon Brew and I ordered some gummies this time. Okay. Some Moon Brew gummies. I don't know what's in the packets. I've got to look at the difference, but I could barely get up off the couch this morning. I fell asleep on the couch, sitting straight up, and I'd finished. I was rewatching kind of like the last reveal because I'd sort of dozed off when I watched it the other night, so I wanted to watch it again, and then I wanted to see where they do the setup, or not the set, where he meets the guy from Jury Duty at the end, which is actually how they started the entire series, and then they ended it that way. I would love for you to tell me and all of our listeners about that meeting, because I did not watch that part of it.
Wait, that's in the
Did you?
behind the scenes.
It's also the way they start the show and the way they end the show.
Oh, they did? Mm-hmm. Maybe I did. I skipped all that, though. I was like, this is boring. Yawn fest.
Well, they start the show. They start the show with him sitting in the restaurant, and Jury Duty guy comes in, and then they talk about how they have a little surprise for him, and then we see the entire show, and then they do it at the end. I just don't know what happens in the meeting.
I think they
Do
just
you?
talk about, well, I don't know. I thought that was
There's
the
some
other
other
episode.
surprise. It says there's some kind of surprise.
Jason Marsden.
Oh, dang, we don't know.
No, Marsden comes in.
He does?
Yeah.
James?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, that's the surprise,
Oh, okay.
I think.
He got an Emmy nod for that.
Did he?
Yeah. James Marsden. Marsden? Yeah,
Marsden? Yeah, it's a weird last name.
Yeah.
Marsden?
Yeah.
The Den of Mars? He's an alien.
Marsden.
Yeah.
Oh, also the woman who was the camp director, she was on Pluribus.
Yeah. She was.
She
And
was an
I felt
episode of
like
Pluribus.
Dougie looked super familiar.
Yeah, Dougie looked familiar, but his audition tape looked different.
Yeah. But he looked like I was like,
They
what
kind of
have you
bleached his
been
hair a
in?
little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I recognized some folks that I was like, I don't know how I know you, but I think I'd know you. I think I'd know you if I
yeah.
saw you.
I think I know you. I think I know you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my depot for you.
Oh.
I guess you kind of answered it, but what would be the scenario? Would it be sports, where if you were thrown into a situation like this and you would just be like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Probably
Okay.
probably sports. Maybe even like nah, I feel like I'm pretty tuned in politically just cuz that's like all over everything. Um but maybe if it was sports cuz I just like don't even ever I mean Kyle talks about it. Like I recognize names maybe, but if they wore a mustache,
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, I don't know.
Sure.
How about you?
Yeah.
Real Housewives?
I think probably sports. Yeah, definitely Real Housewives.
Bravo verse?
You know,
You wouldn't know.
probably any kind of Bravo verse. I don't think I would know. Maybe I don't know. There might be some giveaways, but I don't know that I could do a Bravo verse one. I think I was going to say political, but I feel like I actually think I would do way better in a political scenario than I would sports.
Yeah.
I like sports. There's just too many of them. Same thing about politics. So,
Yeah.
I enjoy politics. I don't enjoy what's happening, but there's just so it'd have to be obscure politicians.
Yeah, it'd have to be like the
state
state
and local
rep
reps
from
from other
Kansas.
from Delaware or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that's about it. Because I think I'd be fine with TV, film, or like Broadway. I think I could do any of those.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
My question for you is when do you think you would realize that you were on jury duty company retreat? At what point do you think you'd be like, wait a second, I'm on TV and now I got to play it up, get my Emmy?
I think, honestly, the thing that was hard was the proposal. I would have been like, no, no way.
Right off the bat.
That actually to me would have been a giveaway. I think his character was sort of the one that was like, there's no way, even though I've been HR and I know how bad HR can be, I'd be like, there's no way. I will say some of the seminars, the one like, coming up with a safe word, also like, let's not talk about the gray area. Like that whole, I don't know. Also, the dad, not really like, also who's supposedly the CEO, really not laying down the law on anything. I feel like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a handful of things.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think the proposal would make me feel like really pretty uncomfortable. Which I was curious too. I wonder if they do a season 3, if they'll ever have a woman in that role of the hero, because I feel like women would sniff it out too fast. Because they'd be asking like more personal questions, and then they'd be like, something doesn't sit right. And then they'd probably go to someone and be like, that really like didn't feel like what is going on? Like they'd turn on their detective, you know? They'd be like, wait a 2nd. I'm Mom Sherlock.
They,
I'm Mrs. Sherlock.
they do what women do.
And just figure it out.
Give us a first name and 30 seconds and a cup of coffee, and we got it figured out.
I don't even need the internet to
do
figure
all
it
the
out.
research.
I'd be like, I'm watching eyes right now. Like something's going on. Why am I always? Why do you guys walk into this room and always go like this? Like, where are we going? What's going? I want to go over here. You know, we'd figure it out. We wouldn't figure it out, but I'd be like, something ain't right here.
Okay, here's a depot for you. Let's say you are in this scenario and you figure it out. Do you play the long game and try and win your Emmy, or do you let on that you know?
Do you think he was letting on that he knew? Because he kept being like, they can't write this on TV. He kept like mentioning how like it was so, you know. Do you
We'll
think
never
that-
know. I mean,
do
he
you think
could have
that was
signed
like his
something,
subconscious?
and could be a subconscious. Maybe he did find out, and they're like, "Hey, can you play it out?" He was really good on camera. So, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? we don't know what he signed. We don't know what else he was paid behind this. Like that's what they're going to give him. But they could give him more. They could have the cast sign something and be like, "Hey, don't reveal that he figured this out after the proposal."
Yeah, I feel like I would. I don't know who I would go to with it. So I think I would just like sit with it and be like, okay, when this is all over, either I'm right or I'm wrong, and no one has to know the difference.
Sure.
I just
Yeah.
keep it to myself. How about you?
I think I'd play it out.
You'd play it out.
I think
You're a
I'd fuck
really
with them
good
a little bit.
actor. You're a really good actor.
I'm not, thank you, though.
You are in
I
real
think
life
I would just fuck with them
situations.
a little bit.
You know?
Yeah, not like for the stage or screen.
Not for the stage or screen, but
when
you
to
are
put-
really good at.
Yeah, just like pretending to be like mad or sad or what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably fuck with them a little bit if I figured it out.
Be like, I quit. What would you do?
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I'd probably would sit in my little bunk bed or whatever if I was out on the retreat and be like, okay, I'm going to yes and my way through 20 ideas instead of like 7 things. Like, what are 20 things I could do to fuck with them? And then think about like, okay, if I did this, what could possibly happen, right? And also what would make for great TV? Like, because if I'm going to be the hero who's also the guinea pig, right? And there's the foil of the whole show. I want to try and get some brand deals after it's over. So
You're just like, I love
I would
Cool
try
Ranch
and do something.
Doritos.
Yeah. Ooh, I do have something. I have a new chip for you.
What?
Dear listeners, Maggie's children, my niece and nephews, love red chips and blue chips, also known as Doritos Nacho Cheese and Doritos Cool Ranch. Cool Ranch Doritos, Nacho Cheese Doritos. There's a Tostito out there, and it is called Tostito Street Corn.
What?
And it has the like seasoning of like a street corn, kind of like an everything but the elote, but street corn flavor. And it's got as much powder on those dang chips as the Cool Ranch and the nacho cheese do. I bought these Tostitos when you were in town to have with some chips and salsa just to have out in case we were snacking one day. I thought I was buying regular corn tortilla chips because I saw like corn tortilla chips. I didn't realize it said street corn and it was flavored. I opened them up after y'all left because I was like, well, some chips with my sandwich. I ate that whole bag in like 3 days.
I gotta get some.
It was so good. You guys, we want to be sponsored by Moon Brew and Tostito street corn chips so bad. But for now, go get them for free. Yeah, we'll get you a discount with the code.
Yes. Thank you. I'm gonna do that.
Discount on that Moon Brew would be sweet. All of our listeners are knocked the F out when they're listening to us because they're taking Moon Brew.
They're
gummies.
so rested when they listen to us because they got such a good night's sleep because of Moon Brew.
You do. It's supposed to help improve your sleep quality over time too. I mean, my Fitbit said that I was completely out, didn't move for 4 hours. And that's a long time for me to not even like roll or move at all.
Yeah.
Like I was out.
Out. Well, Amanda, I think that wraps company retreat.
It does get wrap company retreat. We also got to think about, we can't go to Prediction Town because there's not another one of these.
No.
And if there is, it'll be a couple years from now. And we got to think about what we want to do next.
You know, we do have to think about it, but I don't think I have to think too hard, honestly. I don't have to think too hard.
Okay.
Listen, I have a pitch for you. Ever
Hey,
since
I'm here to catch it.
Okay. Ever since no, that was a spitball. Ever since we were talking about Suits 3 years ago, you mentioned a love for another show that was just as deep and wide and flowing through you as your love for Suits. A show that I have also never seen, much like I had never seen Suits. And many people were
my
like,
gosh.
we also love the show. You should do it. And the timing wasn't right for us when we finished Suits because we needed to watch some TV made in this century. I mean, not this century. The other shows were also made in this century. You know what I mean? Shows made in this year. But now I'm ready to go back in time to a simpler time, but also a more complicated
You're
time.
going to say what I think you're going to say.
Also a place where they do lots of walk and talks, where problems are big, the personalities are bigger. Not the East Wing, because that's gone. But Amanda, would you watch The West Wing with me?
I would be, yes, 1,000 times yes, Maggie. Yes. Yes, I have wanted to do this. Oh my gosh. We're going to throw it back?
Yeah, I
We're
want
gonna
to
throw it
do. I
back?
want to do, and I want to do like only a couple episodes of West Wing per episode of our podcast because I want to go deep with it, and I want to get all the inside
Okay.
jokes, and I want to make all the predictions, and I just want to figure out some policy.
Oh my gosh, we have so much policy. I love that. Now they have, so there's 7 seasons of The West Wing, and I believe they all have, I think they all have 22 episodes, at least the first few seasons do,
That's a
because this is
lot
like
of-
old school
yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So maybe we do like anywhere from like 2 to 4 episodes a week. That's a reasonable amount of TV to watch, right?
Yeah, I think for sure.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay. I cannot wait. This is gonna be so great. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay,
Okay, great.
sign us
I
off.
can't wait.
I'm
we're doing
I'm
doing
glad
the
that
West
pitch went
Wing.
over.
Woo, woo, woo.
I was like, gosh, what if she's like, I've already watched it 10 times. I can't do an 11th.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for doing this with me.
You know me.
Thank you.
I'm a committed binger. Committed. Love it. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you don't know what to say in that review, you can say, am I on hidden camera? Because I'm laughing so hard at these two jokesters, heroes, women.
Great.
The end.